The Book of Tobit, Tobiyah, Chapter 6. And as they went on their journey, in the evening they came to the river Hiddekel, and they stayed there. And when the young man went down to wash himself, a fish leaped out of the river and would have bitten him. Then the messenger said to him, "Catch the fish." And the young man took hold of the fish and pulled it to land. To whom the messenger said, "Open the fish and take the heart and the liver and the gall, and put them away safely." So the young man did as the messenger commanded him, and when they had roasted the fish, they ate it. Then they both went on their way till they drew near to Amitha. Then the young man said to the messenger, "Brother Azariah, what use is the heart and the liver and the gall of the fish?" And he said to him, "Regarding the heart and the liver, if a demon or an evil spirit troubles anyone, we must make a smoke from it before the man or the woman, and they shall be troubled no more. As for the gall, it is good to anoint one who has whiteness in his eyes, and he shall be healed." And when they had come near to Rages, the messenger said to the young man, "Brother, today we shall stay with Raguel, who is your cousin. He also has only one daughter named Sarah. I shall speak for her, that she may be given to you as a wife. For the right of her belongs to you, seeing only you are from her relatives. And the maiden is lovely and wise. Now therefore listen to me, and I shall speak to her father. And when we return from Rages, we shall celebrate the marriage, for I know that Raguel is not able to marry her to another, according to the law of Moshe. But he shall be liable to judgment, because the right of inheritance belongs to you rather than to any other." Then the young man answered the messenger, "I have heard, brother Azariah, that this maiden has been given to 7 men, who all died in the marriage room. And now I am the only son of my father, and I am afraid, lest if I go into her, I die as the others before. For a wicked spirit loves her, which harms none except those who come unto her. Therefore I also fear lest I die, and bring the life of my father and my mother to the grave with sorrow because of me, for they have no other son to bury them." Then the messenger said to him, "Do you not remember the orders which your father gave you, that you should marry a wife of your own relatives? Therefore hear me, O my brother, for she shall be given to you as wife. And do not regard the evil spirit, for this same night she shall be given to you in marriage. And when you go into the marriage room, you shall take the ashes of incense, and shall lay some of the heart and liver of the fish upon them, and shall make a smoke with it. And the demon shall smell it and flee away, and never come again any more. But when you come to her, both of you rise up and pray to Elohim, who is kind, who shall show favor to you and save you. Do not fear, for she is appointed to you from the beginning, and you shall preserve her, and she shall go up with you, and I say that she shall bear you children." Now when Tobiyah had heard these words, he loved her, and his heart was completely joined to her. Chapter 7. And when they had come to Amitha, they came to the house of Raguel, and Sarah met them. And after they had greeted one another, she brought them into the house. Then Raguel said to Edna his wife, "How similar this young man is to Tobiyah, my cousin." And Raguel asked them, "Where are you from, brothers?" To whom they replied, "We are of the sons of Naphtali, who are captives in Nineveh." Then he said to them, "Do you know Tobiyah, our relative?" And they said, "We know him." Then he said, "Is he in good health?" And they replied, "He is both alive and in good health." And Tobiyah said, "He is my father." Then Raguel leaped up and kissed him and wept, and baraked him and said to him, "You are the son of an honest and good man." But when he had heard that Tobiyah was blind, he was sorrowful and wept. And likewise Edna his wife and Sarah his daughter wept, and they welcomed them gladly. And after they had slaughtered a ram from the flock, they laid some of the meat on the table. Then Tobiyah said to Raphael, Brother Azariah, speak of that of which you spoke on the way, and let this matter be addressed. So he spoke of the matter with Raguel, and Raguel said to Tobit, Eat, drink, and rejoice. For it is right that you should marry my daughter. However, I shall tell you the truth. I have given my daughter in marriage to 7 men, who died the night they came to her. Nevertheless, for the present rejoice. But Tobit said, I shall not eat here till we agree and swear to one another. And Raguel said, Then take her from here according to the custom, for you are her relative, and she is yours. And Elohim, who is kind, give you good success in all. Then he called his daughter Sarah, and she came to her father. And he took her by the hand, and gave her to be wife to Tobit, saying, See, take her according to the law of Moshe, and take her to your father. And he baraked them. And called Edna his wife, and took paper, and wrote a deed of covenant, and sealed it. Then they began to eat. Afterwards Raguel called his wife Edna, and said to her, Sister, prepare another room, and take her in there. When she had done as he had asked her, she brought her there, and she wept. And she received the tears of her daughter, and said to her, Take courage, my daughter. Yahuwah of the Shemayim and earth give you joy in place of your sorrow. Take courage, my daughter. Chapter 8. And when they had eaten, they brought Tobit into her. And as he went, he remembered the words of Raphael, and took the ashes of the incense, and put the heart and the liver of the fish on them, and made a smoke with it. When the evil spirit had smelled the smell, it fled to the furthermost parts of Mitzrayim, and the messenger bound it. And after they were both shut in together, Tobit rose out of the bed and said, Sister, arise, and let us pray that Elohim would show favor on us. Then Tobit began to say, Baruch are you, O Elohim of our fathers, and Baruch is your Kodesh and esteemed name forever. Let the Shemayim barak you in all your creation. You made Adam and gave him Hawa his wife for a helper and support. From them came mankind. You have said it is not good for man to be alone. Let us make for him a helper as his counterpart. And now, O Yahuwah, I do not take this, my sister, for a whore, but uprightly. Therefore favorably allow that we may grow old together. And she said with him, Amen. So they both slept that night, and Raguel arose and went and dug a grave, saying, I fear lest he is also dead. And Raguel had come into his house, and he said to his wife Edna, Send one of the female servants, and let her see whether he is alive, and if not, that we may bury him, and no one know it. So the female servant opened the door and went in and found them both asleep, and came out and told them that he was alive. Then Raguel praised Elohim and said, O Elohim, you are worthy to be praised with all pure and Kodesh praise. Therefore let your Kodeshim praise you with all your creation, and let all your messengers and your elect praise you forever. You are to be praised, for you have made me joyful. And what I expected has not come to be, but you have dealt with us according to your great kindness. You are to be praised because you have shown kindness for 2 who were the only brought forth children of their fathers. Grant them kindness, O Yahuwah, and complete their life in health with joy and kindness. Then Raguel told his servants to fill in the grave, and he held the wedding feast 14 days. For before the days of the marriage were finished, Raguel had spoken to him with an oath, saying, You shall not depart till the 14 days of the marriage have passed. And then take half of your goods, and go in safety to your father, and then receive the remainder when my wife and I are dead. Chapter 9. Then Tobit called Raphael and said to him, Azariah, my brother, take a servant and 2 camels with you, and go to Rajas of Madai, to Gabael, and bring me the silver, and bring him to the wedding. For Raguel had sworn that I shall not depart. But my father counts the days, and if I stay long, he shall be very grieved. So Raphael departed and stayed with Gabael, and gave him the handwriting, who brought out bags which were sealed, and gave them to him. And early in the morning they both went out together, and came to the wedding, and Barak his wife. Chapter 10. Now Tobiyah his father counted every day, and when the days of the journey had passed, and they did not come, Tobiyah then said, Are they delayed, or is Gabael dead, and there is no one to give him the silver? Therefore he was very grieved. Then his wife said to him, My son is dead, seeing he stays long. And she began to bewail him, and said, Woe is me, since I have let you go, my son, the light of my eyes. To whom Tobiyah said, Keep calm, have no concern, for he is safe. And she said, Keep silent, and do not deceive me, my son is dead. And she went out every day, out to the road which they went, and ate no food in the daytime, and every night unceasingly bewailed her son Tobiyah, until the 14 days of the wedding had passed, which Raguel had sworn that he would spend there. Then Tobiyah said to Raguel, Let me go, for my father and my mother may cease to look for me. But his father-in-law said to him, Stay with me, and I shall send to your father, and they shall inform him how it is with you. But Tobiyah said, No, but let me go to my father. Then Raguel arose and gave him Sarah his wife and half his goods, and servants and cattle and silver. And he baraked them and sent them away, saying, The Elohim of the Shemaim give you a prosperous journey, my children. And he said to his daughter, Esteem your father and mother-in-law, who are now your parents, that I may hear a good report of you. And he kissed her. Edna also said to Tobiyah, Yahuwah of the Shemaim, return you, my dear brother, and grant that I may see your children of my daughter Sarah before I die, that I may rejoice before Yahuwah. See, I commit my daughter to you with special trust. Therefore, do not treat her wickedly.